Hello, class. Well, this has been a fun and interesting week as we've been exploring the characteristics of today's college student. I hope you enjoyed the Beloit Mindset List and appreciated the light humor that the list provides. I've kept up with the Beloit list for several years, and what has really been interesting to me is seeing how many changes occur in a short period of time, as well as reading about all the formative cultural elements influencing the different generations. All this to say, it can make one feel really knowledgeable and experienced. What I really like about this year's list, which I haven't seen in previous ones, is the epilogue on jargon and expressions of this culture, more specifically this microculture. Perhaps one day we can discuss aspects of all this IRL, that is, in real life. Beyond the fun and humor of this list is our discussion about how one describes the typical college student. And the best answer is there is no typical college student. While it may sound commonplace as we dig deeper and take into account the demographic, social, political, as well as economic forces of today, the question is more about what forces and specific factors shape college students today. And by college student, we no longer limit our definition to the traditional post-high school first-year freshman, but anyone who finds themselves in a higher education context. Asking questions of development, social and external forces and pressures changes our conversation completely. We move from descriptors of today's students to becoming more evaluative and asking the questions of students' experience, background, and goals for the future. Those are the topics of modules 8 and 9, where we'll evaluate how higher education changes students and the specific role that the institution plays in shaping student development. This is where understanding student development theory can be helpful. In another class, you'll focus specifically on student development theory and student success, but let me at least say that having a basic understanding of students and being familiar with some key theoretical concepts will be helpful as you think about your upcoming as well as final papers. To that end, one good resource is this book, Student Development in College by Evans, Forney, Guido, Patton, and Wren. It's in our library, so take a look. I would also recommend a good academic journal about students, such as this one, produced by the American College Personnel Association, the Journal of College Student Development, which contains many peer-reviewed articles on the subject. So as this weekend marks the end of Module 7, you have your second paper due this Sunday, the institutional role paper. I gave a few tips on it last week, and so I'll just say a couple more, primarily in terms of formatting and writing. I highly encourage you, if you have not done so, to use the APA template that is readily available on the CityU library site. There you will be able to access the template and also glean other very important writing tips. If you just want a shortcut to the template, the APA formatted sample paper, just click on the Course Information tab on your class menu and download it. Please do stick as close as possible to this format. Getting your formatting right now will save you a world of time later. Remember that the paper is a compare and contrast one, and I expect at least 2 institutions of different types. I also expect that you will have analyzed and evaluated each one independently as well as in contrast to the other. I'm looking for how these institutions best serve students and perhaps what could be done to better serve students. And I always say support your statements with research. One final note is that before you submit your last paper, I'll have one more professor hangout where I'll give you the chance to touch base and talk about the final paper or anything you want to from this class. I plan on doing this most likely on the weekend after Module 9, so stay tuned. My hope is that you can make it and won't have to experience FOMO. That's fear of missing out because the time was so savage. Sorry. Cool. All right, that's all for now. Don't hesitate to contact me for questions, concerns, or comments, and I will see you all online.